Hello there, this is Mr. McCloskey, and today I'm going to teach you how to solve an equation where you have to use the distributive property and do this thing called combining like terms. Okay, so the way I always like to start out whenever I'm solving an equation is by drawing a line through the equal sign to kind of separate the left side of the equal sign from the right side. Okay, the first thing you always do is you distribute, which means you take this number on the outside of the parentheses and you multiply it by both the things on the inside of the parentheses. So 3 times 2x is 6x, and 3 times 2 is positive 6, so you put a plus 6. That plus 4x that is outside of the parentheses, you just drop that down for now, you don't do anything with that. And the same goes for the 96, you just drop that down. Okay, so we distributed, we used the distributive property to get 6x plus 6 plus 4x is equal to 96. Now you have to do this thing called combining like terms. Combining like terms is where you find the terms that are alike, meaning they either both have an x, like this 6x and this 4x, or they don't have an x, so like this 6 and the 96. But the reason we're not going to combine that 6 and the 96 is because they're on opposite sides of the equal sign. So to be a like term, they have to either both have an x or both not have an x, and they have to be on the same side of the equal sign. So this 6x and 4x are our only pair of like terms in this problem. And whenever you're combining like terms, you add. Okay, so you add the 6x plus the 4x, and that is 10x. The plus 6 drops down for now, and the 96 drops down. Okay, now it's a simple two-step equation like we did on that first day, and that means you subtract 6, and you subtract 6. Drop that 10x down. 96 minus 6 is 90. And then you divide by 10, and divide by 10. So x is equal to 9. All right. And guys, as always, these problems can be found in the Google Classroom, along with some problems to practice. I will be posting them in the YouTube Google Classroom, which I will put in the description, the join code, so that you can get these problems and practice along with me. That is the best way to learn. Okay, on number 2, we put a 1 in front of the x because there is no number there, and then we take that negative 2 and we multiply it by 1, and we multiply it by positive 7. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2x. Negative 2 times positive 7 is negative 14. The negative 8 drops. Positive 40 drops, and then you combine like terms. So like 6x and 4x on number 1, they both had an x. On this one, number 2, there's only a negative 2x, so there's no like terms that involve an x, but there are like terms that involve not having an x. So we have negative 14 and we have negative 8. Those two things combine to be negative 22. Negative 14 plus negative 8 is negative 22, and then you drop down the negative 2x, you drop down the positive 40, and then you add 22 to both sides. That cancels, the negative 2x drops. 40 plus 22 is 62, and then you divide by negative 2 on both sides. Cancels, and x is equal to negative 31. All right, we have 2 more that I'm going to do for examples as notes, and then you will have in this document 16 problems to practice. Okay, so lots of practice you can use that are very similar to these problems, so it should be easy. Okay, on numbers 3 and 4, what I did was it's the same process, but now the x is going to be on the right side. So we're going to be doing most of our work on the right side and moving stuff over to the left. Okay, on this one, there's a negative sign outside the parentheses and no number to go along with that negative sign, so that means you slide a 1 right there. And then you distribute that negative 1 to the 2, and you distribute that negative 1 to the negative 6. So it becomes negative 2x plus 6. The plus 5x drops. The positive 12 drops. And then you combine the like terms. The only pair of like terms in this one is the negative 2x and the positive 5x, which becomes positive 3x. The plus 6 drops. The positive 12 drops. Then you minus 6 and minus 6. That cancels. 12 minus 6 is 6. The 3x drops. And you divide by 3. You divide by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So x is equal to 2. On number 4. All right, once again, there's no number outside the parentheses, just a plus sign. This 18 is too far away from the parentheses. It has to be, for you to distribute something, it has to be right next to the parentheses. Okay, so you do not distribute this 18. What you do is you slide an invisible 1 there. And just like over here where we distributed a negative 1, on this one, we are distributing a positive 1. And we also have to put a 1 in front of the x. So you do 1 times 1 and 1 times negative 6. The 18 just drops down for now. 1 times 1 is positive 1x. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. The negative 34 just drops. And then you combine like terms. The like terms on this one are 18 and negative 6. 18 and negative 6 combine to be positive 12. 18 plus negative 6 is positive 12. And the 1x drops. The negative 34 drops. And you subtract 12 to both sides. That cancels. Negative 34 minus 12 is negative 46. The 1x drops. Then you divide by 1, divide by 1. X is equal to negative 46. All right, so once again, like I said, this document with these problems, as well as 16 more practice problems, will be posted in the Google Classroom. I will put the join code to that Google Classroom in the description of this video, so please join and make your brain better by doing some math. Thank you, have a great day.